Hi everybody, it's the Soap Man and it's time to make some soap. So what we're going to do today is I've decided to call this a tacky soap. You know how so many times it's happened to all of us. We wanted to make a nice pretty soap with nice pretty colors or swirls or layers or whatever, and something happens, a layer pierces through, a swirl doesn't, your fragrance oil thickens or it discolors, and it doesn't always turn out that way. Well, you know what? I'm not worried about that today. This is going to be a confetti soap. I have shaved up all kinds of different colors from pieces left over in bars that I'm just never going to use. A whole wide variety of colors in there. It's going to be suspended in a base of neon green from Nurture Soap. The top is going to be yellow. This is a morphing color. It's Brambleberry's Buttercup. When it mixes with the lye, it turns a burnt orange. I've said it many times. I would be satisfied if it stayed the burnt orange, but it always goes back to yellow. And what would be a better tacky topping for a tacky soap than cut up bits of neon green to go on the top? And I'm going to be scenting it with Nurture Soap's Ginger and Lime. I've only used it in a test batch, but so far it is holding up wonderfully. It's not supposed to rice. It did rice in my test batch, and a few other reviewers also said it riced. The fortunate thing for this is it blends out easily, it does not accelerate, and in this instance I want a thick trace. We're going to see how that works. I'm going to pour it into my slab mold that my friend Lisa gave me. Have it lined with paper, and while it does have a silicone liner, I'm using the paper because the liner takes up a pretty fair amount of space, and I'm not using the soap bar dividers, and I want to have as much space in there as I can, so that way I can put more soap into it. Alright, let's talk just a minute before we get started about my attire. Let's see if you can see me in the mirror. Yeah, there we go. Sort of anyway. I don't have the best camera. One of you all has a husband who likes Hawaiian shirts, and guess what? So do I. I wear them all spring and all summer long. This is one of my favorites. I don't know how well the camera's picking it up. Normally I don't wear, my nice clothes to make soap in. Obviously, most of us don't. I'm going to be extra cautious this time. But Renee, hope your husband likes this. I'll wear another one tomorrow. Let's make some soap. So we're in the picture here. Let me get my gloves and goggles, because I am going to be touching the soap directly to put the embeds on it. And I don't want brand new soapers to think, oh, you don't need to wear gloves. You really should, even though I know sometimes I don't. I'm very cautious, and I have a sink here right beside me. Oops, that one's got a hole in it. I'll have to watch out for that. Well, shoot, got a big hole in it, so I'm going to have to really be careful. So anyway, because these are the only gloves I have, let's make some soap. We'll put our lye water in. Get it lightly emulsified, and then we'll take it from there. Alright, emulsion has been reached. So what I'm going to do now is, for the top, I'm going to pour off. I have the idea in my head that 20 ounces will be enough, so let's get our 20 ounces for the top. go. The rest is going to support the embeds. And because this fragrance oil behaves well, I am not even dispersing my colors, which I almost always do. I'm just going to stick blend them in. And I'm soaping at about 120 because I'm going to really want this nice and thick to support those embeds. The top doesn't have to be quite as thick. So here we go, the green in the bottom. Knowing I may have to stick blend if this rises like it did the last time. I'm keeping that in mind. Plus, I want to make sure that the neon colors are really well blended in the soap, so we don't have any clumps or specks. Okay, that's all I'm going to do at the moment. Let's work on getting the yellow in and then see what our fragrance oil does. Alright you all, if this does what it normally does, watch this. Nice pretty bright yellow is going to turn a burnt orange. Yep, can you see that? But after 24 hours, it always turns back to a pretty bright yellow. Alright. Let's attempt our fragrance oil. Yep, it riced on me. Not bad, but it did. But it always blends out and it doesn't accelerate. So now let's work on our green. It's starting to set up good. Okay. Yeah, that's sitting up nicely. So let's take care of the ricing that is going to happen. Yep, there it goes. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it definitely is. So let's get this nice and thick. Get that ricing out. Some other reviewers also said this riced on them, although in the description it says it didn't, and they're testing, but you know, so many different recipes and potential rice causing issues. And this smells so good, and in those sample bars I made, it is really sticking well. Okay, ricing is out, and we have a nice thick batter to support those embeds. So let's get those in. Oh yeah, this will be nice and tacky, just the way I wanted. I want to start to move. It's getting just a tad thicker than I wanted. I definitely wanted a thick trace to support these. No, actually, it's mixing up nicely. This is doing just right. The top is sitting up on me, so I gotta move. So, those are stirred in well. Let's get this into our mold. I'm going to tap this on the floor. Just kind of smooth that out a little bit. Make sure we get it into all of our corners. Okay, now let's work on this top, because it is sitting up on me. See if I can stir it out some. Uh-oh, we got Play-Doh here. This wasn't supposed to happen. So overall, I like this fragrance oil just because it smells so good and it doesn't discolor and it sticks really well, but a few issues. So I just want to try and smooth that out so we get into all of our corners in the mold, at least as best as I can anyway. And this burnt orange will turn back to a beautiful yellow within 24 hours. And now everybody, the pièce de résistance, the green tops. So what I'm going to do is just kind of place these randomly, stick them in, so nothing planned or organized. So this is going to be really boring, so what I'll do is shut us down and finish doing this, and I will bring us back in a few minutes. Okay everybody, we're back with the tacky soap finished up. So if you didn't watch the making, this is a confetti soap, just getting rid of all kinds of different shades and colors of soaps, mixed in a lime green with lime and ginger essential oil. That burnt orange is going to turn back to a nice bright yellow, and then lime green embeds. That's why I called it tacky soap. Why not call it tacky soap? The top really got thick on me, not sure how that's going to work out, but it's done. That is a hard bar already, so I'm going to put rubbing alcohol on it, put it to bed, let it go through a nice gel phase, and I'll see you tomorrow morning for the cutting. Alright everybody, thanks for watching. I'm just as curious. We'll see. Bye. Hi everybody, it's the Soap Man, and it's time to cut the soap I made. This recipe, if you let it gel, I really like it because this recipe gets really hard really fast if you let it gel. At 10 hours after molding. I unmolded this and split it into 2 loaves, and 11 hours it's ready to cut. Even at 10 hours when I split it, it was still slightly warm, but I was afraid it was going to get too hard to cut with my wire cutter, and I had to cut this with a knife because I don't have a log splitter. So let's go ahead and cut this tacky soap and see what it looks like. Before I get on, Renee, here's another one for your husband. Renee knows what I'm talking about. Her husband knows what I'm talking about. Another favorite Hawaiian shirt. Lady from church got both of these. The one I made the soap in, the one I'm cutting this in. A really nice lady because she knows I love my Hawaiian shirts in the summertime. So here's another one. Anyway, let's cut the tacky soap. And it is quite tacky, but that's what I intended. This Nurture Soap's Ginger and Lime smells so good. I wish it had not riced. I so wanted to give it 10 stars, just 10 stars, because it smells so good. If it weren't for that, oh, it would have. But anyway, knowing what I know now, I can work with it. I will still use it. I will still buy it. So let's cut into this. Now, these bars are pretty much going to all be the same. Let's see, a little bit of fragrance oil leaked over there. Let's clean that up. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, 11 hours. Listen to my wire plink. 11 hours, this is hard soap. But not bad, I like this. And I love this recipe because it produces a really hard bar of soap that gives a great lather in the shower. Now these are all going to be pretty much the same, so I'm just going to cut this one log. So next week I'll do the same, just with some different colors and a different fragrance oil. And by the way, if you watched the making, you saw how this morphing mica turned to burnt orange, and when it went to gel it turned back to that yellow. This is what was left over in the cup. It didn't gel. It's still that burnt orange, but by tomorrow morning it will also be that nice bright yellow. So the hot gel really accelerated the returning to the normal color of this mica. But this is nice. These will make some nice bars, and these will make a nice hard bar of soap with a great lather. And 11 hours after molding it, it is so ready to cut. And whoa, this ginger and lime smells good and really sticks in the soap. Yeah, nice, very nice. And one more. So that's what I have. I'll cut this other one off camera because they're all going to look the same. So I've got one more log to cut. But here we go, my tacky soap. I was not trying for a pretty soap. So if anything went wrong, it was supposed to happen. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. I will see you next week for another tacky soap. Have a great weekend. Bye.